Hey guys, welcome back. It is now January 2017 and I want to thank everybody for still tuning into my channel. I'm going to go over some of the EDC options that I use on an everyday basis. I know it's going to be very personal to a lot of people, and you look at this and you're like, there's no way this guy carries this much stuff. And you're right, you're 100% right. There's no way I carry every single piece of this or the items that you see on the table every single day. What it's called is EDC options for 2017. I like to adjust my gear according to where I'm going, what I'm doing, the time of weather, the time of the year, or the weather. And ideally, a lot of this stuff will reside probably in a large coat pocket, shirt pocket, that type of thing, and it will be spread loaded mostly. And ideally, the firearms and stuff will always be around my waist. But you should understand that going forward in this video, it's not going to be all this stuff on my person at one time. I ask that you please be respectable. I know that there's a lot of people that look at this and say, that's crazy, I would never carry all that, and I'm from somewhere in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, we just need a shotgun and a jig bone. Well, sorry, this is in Pennsylvania and that's not my video. So what I'm going to do is go over some of the stuff real quickly, and I hope that you guys find enjoyment out of it. Any questions or you know, comments, you can put them down below. Alright guys, so very quickly, if you watched in the news lately, a lot of things been going on. There was just an attack in Staten Island. A man with an AR-15 and another man with a Glock 19 decided to have a shootout with police. I think one of them was wounded and the other one escaped or might have been caught later. The guy that was wounded was carrying an AR-15 and body armor. Okay, body armor. So understand that the threat is real. Okay, and this is in Staten Island, New York, where it has some of the most strictest gun laws ever. A guy's running around battling it out with police. So understand my philosophies. Okay, if you don't respect them, that's fine. Everybody has their own theories, but for me it's personal, and I rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. My cell phone, it's the 6 Plus, no big deal. The biggest thing that I use on here, other than email and all that other stuff, is a camera. I think that you should by now have a phone with a camera on it. If you do get into something, I think video evidence or camera evidence is going to help you in a court of law more than just your word. Okay, so everybody watches YouTube and you understand how that works. As far as an EDC item for a multi-tool, I'm still rocking my Leatherman. This is the Sidekick. It has spring-loaded pliers and it has 2 blades on it. It has a little saw. It's kind of cool. I don't use it for everything. Mostly what I use it for is either the pliers and or the screwdriver bits. Okay, so I was using, I think, the Champ Pro or Champ Plus Swiss Army knife, but this is a thinner profile, so I like that. The knife that I use mostly, or carry mostly, is my ZT 0560 Hindra design. It is an LMAX steel. I don't know if you can see it, but I use it for a lot of box opening and cutting and, you know, just regular everyday use. I like that it has a G10 on one side and titanium on the other side. Again, very slim profile, excellent flip opening kind of thing, has a nice lockup, really cool blade. You can get them on Amazon. That's where I got this one. When it comes to knives, I don't make folding knives, so if you guys watch the channel, you know I don't make folding knives, so I usually wind up purchasing them. As a secondary blade option, and ideally this is mostly going to be for a really bad time, or, you know, you can still use it for opening boxes or, you know, tackling dinosaurs or whatever it is. This is the SOG SOG. And if you can see that right there, has the Spec Elite 2. It is made in, I think, Sadiki, Japan. I'm sorry, I know I'm butchering that. SOG does not always make the best type of blade steel. It's cheap, it's affordable, but this one happens to have a very nice lockup, and it has a very large handle, which I like. I don't carry this around with me a lot, but I guess if I was going to go out into the woods or something like that, then I'd probably pack something like this, or I would just carry a fixed blade. When it comes to flashlights, I was carrying a lot of smaller flashlights, and with a coat pocket you don't need to do that. In the summertime you'll see me switch over to smaller flashlights, but right now I am carrying my Surefire Fury, and I love this flashlight. It has a low setting and it has a high setting. Very easy to use. I think these are 1, 2, 3 batteries. I don't even have a case for it, so you could see it's getting kind of dinged up or whatever, but very high lumens. I think these are like 300 to 600 lumens, something like that. It's very, very bright, and again, like I said, use the Surefire or the 1, 2, 3 A batteries. This just stays in my coat pocket in case I need it for quick access. Now, I haven't really smoked in a while, but I always decide to carry a lighter. This is my Usmc Zippo lighter. Okay, you always have to check the fluid levels. It does work. And I've carried this for quite some time. You can see it's all getting dinged up and bent out of shape, but I love it, so I'm just going to keep carrying it. That's just the way I roll. The Cigar Cutter is just a regular stainless steel. I do like to smoke cigars. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke pretty much anything else. It's just not my thing. But every now and then I like to have a cigar, and rather than using my knife and butchering the cigar, a nice little guillotine cut works very well for me. This is a set of Oakleys. I used to rock the blades a lot, the Oakley blades, and I like those. They're very military stylish kind of thing, but what I found is if it's too tight on your head, it winds up giving you headaches. These do not. Okay, these are the half jacketed 2.0. Let's see if I can see that. Yeah, half jacket 2.0. It's half jacket 2.0. So I don't think these are UV protectant. I'm not sure. I got to check the specs on that, but I had these for a while and they're very, very comfortable. A lot of things with glasses, and even shooting glasses, they hurt my head. I get headaches. It's a pain in the ass. I really don't like it. Alright, the next one you guys saw was my wallet. I'm still using that. It's the Rfid wallet by VanQuest. Alright, I'm not going to open it, but it's very slimline. The only thing I have in here are my cards, my licenses, permits, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if it's a big thing. I don't know if they do it anymore, but you know, hackers used to be able to sit by you and be able to get all your credit card information just by sitting by you and using some type of device to pull that information out. Also, it protects against other cards, so if other cards are leaning against each other or whatever, the magnetization, I don't know if that works either, but I do know that I've tested it before on certain gas pumps and stuff. If my card's in the wallet and you swipe the card, it won't read it. I have to pull it out of the wallet, so that's how I test that it's actually still working. So pretty good stuff on VanQuest. This belt I just got as a birthday present, which I thought was pretty awesome. Very, very thick leather. It's about 1/4 of an inch thick. It's made by, what is this, Relentless Tactical. I'm not usually a big fan of these type of belts. What I used in the past were riggers belts, and I think in the military it's ideal to use riggers belts. They're very thin, they're very strong. A lot of people use tactical belts now, especially guys that are gun owners. But I find that what happens is, and I think this is an inch and a half or something like that, the size of the belt, especially in riggers belts or combat belts, don't actually fit holsters. Okay, so they don't fit the holsters on most items. Okay, so it's kind of a pain in the neck, especially if you got one of those Cobra buckles. A lot of times those Cobra buckles won't fit through the loops of your pants, so you have to take the Cobra buckle out, feed the thing through, and then readjust it. Now, once it's on your pants, it's fine, but ideally for me, who changes their pants almost every day, so I kind of want to have non-stinky pants, and I want to make sure that I can get in them and out of them quick. Now, this is a size 44, and I think on the website or Amazon it says get 2 sizes bigger. I do not agree with that. I think this is almost too big. I usually wear a size 38-40 pants, so a 42 would have done just as good, or a size 40, because it gives you so many eyelets to use. The reason that I went with a larger is because I was reading the other comments, and if you are going to wear inside the waistband, you're going to need a bigger belt, you're going to need bigger pants. Okay, so that's ideal for inside the waistband. If you're not inside the waistband carrier, you do not need the extra 2 size lengths or whatever it is. Okay, so just FYI for that. But excellent belt so far. I'm very happy with it. That is Relentless Tactical. Same watch I'm using, Suunto and Core. A lot of people know about that. My battery's about to die. It lasts about a year. They're pretty good. Simple items here. I always carry a Sharpie, a pen, and some type of pencil, because sometimes, believe it or not, in the cold, unless you have one of those space pens, ink freezes. A pencil will do you one better. Memo book, something to write in. The Sharpie is ideal for anybody that, let's say you come up on a situation, people are dying or whatever, car crash, active shooter, whatever the case is. You have to you can write on their forehead with a Sharpie. You can write in their blood, but that's kind of one of those things where I really don't want to touch anybody else's blood unless I absolutely have to. Okay. Speaking of active shooter, I have a couple trauma kits here that I started carrying. This one's a little bit too big. It's supposed to fit inside of a cargo pocket made by Spec Ops. I don't think they use this anymore. Ideally, what you can use is just a regular old Ziploc bag. I've used Ziploc bags in the past and they work great. The most important thing about any type of trauma kit, you only need 4 elements. I know they sell them online and they're great, but really the only thing is 4 elements. 1 set of really good gloves, or 2 sets, some type of tourniquet. It could be cat tourniquet, it could be the soft tourniquet, it could be whatever tourniquets you want, soft tourniquet. Some way to plug the wound. Either gauze, this is good, Quick Clot is good. I like the sponge better than the other stuff. And then some way to field dress the wound, which is either an Israeli bandage, those old Vietnam style bandages are good. Any type of new stuff that comes out with, some way to tie on or to tie off the actual wound is what you need. Now again, I said this is kind of big. So what I opted for was something a little bit smaller. And again, you can put this in a coat pocket if your pockets are big enough, but I think it's a little bit too wide for that. What I did is I did some research and I found this. This you can actually put on your belt, which I don't do, but you can carry this by itself. This is made by Rescue Essentials. They call it the Patrol Officer's Pocket Kit. Again, you don't have to be an officer or a federal agent to use these things, but it's very simple. Kit is a SWAT T tourniquet, a Z-Pack dressing, gloves, and duct tape. Alright. The only thing I didn't have in there is duct tape. Duct tape will work better in some situations over the regular surgical tape, unless you have like a 3M brand that's pretty good. So this is relatively small. Like I said, it's a little bit wide, but it's relatively small. You can throw that inside your jacket pocket and you don't have to worry about any type of trauma kits, or like I said, if you're involved in an active shooter situation where you're the victim, waiting for 911 or a medical emergency might take too long. Okay. Now the most important part that everybody's been waiting for are the guns. If I hadn't mentioned it before, all these guns are clear. Okay, they are empty. This is the Glock 19. This is the Gen 4. Originally I was carrying the Gen 3, and I like the Gen 3, but again, I have extra large hands. Now, anybody that has extra large hands, they hold the gun differently. So what I liked about the Gen 4 is that it has the back strap in it, and I find with the extra large back strap, this gives me exactly the right amount of purchase on this gun. Everybody's going to differ. I understand the Glock 19 is a compact style gun. I get it. But for me, with this extra back strap and the magazine inserted, I could pretty much get all my fingers on it, as you can see right there. Okay, the Gen 3 version of this, I had to put Talon tape. That was the other thing. This has a lot more grip on it. The magazine release is bigger than on the Gen 4. A couple other improvements, and I'm sure there's been tons, if not thousands of videos done on the Glock 19. However, what I did do is I put the HD sights on there. I don't know if you could see that, but these are night sights. Let me see if I can shut the light off for you. Give you a little bit more These are the Trijicon night sights. All right, so what I liked about these is they have the tritium inserts in it, as well as a large orange front sight. These sights are awesome. I don't know if you can see it here, but they are ribbed, very dark. I don't know if you can see that. So it's a better way to get acquisition on your target. Your eyes automatically direct yourself to the large orange sight, and as you're firing, it works very well. I did put these on, they're excellent. I tested the gun out, it works great. So I'm very happy with this, especially with the back strap. Now I can get all my fingers on there. I don't feel like I'm holding a smaller gun, and you know, Glock's a Glock. It's always going to run as long as you keep it nice and clean, and you don't abuse it and do anything really stupid with it. It will always work. The holster again is a Kydex holster. I forget the name of the maker. I did find these on Amazon. It's really cool because it's made out of just 2 pieces of Kydex, and they put the little grommets in there, and it has a little tightening button, tightening screw. You know, again, I myself can make these type of holsters, but it's one of those things where it turns into a whole nother project. For one time it's great, but I'm not going to do it as a business. It's not really that hard to make these holsters, but you spend the 40 bucks, it gets shipped to your house, and it's one less thing you got to worry about, as long as the gun fits. And ideally this gun fits very well inside this holster. Okay, there's no retention other than the screw retention. One of the things that I was doing as far as carrying extra magazine, I always carry an extra mag. These are Tech Lock, or Blade Tech I should say, Blade Tech with a Tech Lock on it. They do sell these in doubles and or singles, and all you do is kind of slip it onto your belt, and you're good to go with at least one magazine. Now, what I don't like about this, and it's never really been that much trouble for me, you know, it has nice tightening screws and rubber bushings and all that stuff. You can take one magazine out, slip it in there, and you're good to go, and it looks like that. All right, you can buy those on Amazon as well. But one of the things that kept bothering me was how much it sticks out. Now, it's the magazine plus, I guess, another ½ inch of clip that sticks out, which doesn't bother too many people, but I found this online as well. This is Gould. I want to say Gould. I forget the full name, but they make leather products, and they make excellent holsters and everything. And this is what I was talking about as far as the belt loop and the belt that I was talking about. You cannot fit a large rigger's belt through here. You cannot fit a large rigger's belt through this. So it has to be size specific to the belt, which is nice if you're transitioning different guns and everything else. All right, so this is pretty good because it has a double stack. You could put 2 magazines in there if you wanted to carry 2 magazines. You don't always have to carry 2 magazines. It also adds weight, but with the weight of the gun on one side and the 2 magazines on the other, it kind of weighs itself out. And again, like I said, if you're in an active shooter situation, or something really bad happens to you, or more is less, you know, it's one of those things, rather have it than not need it. Okay, so depending on what shape you're in, how you feel about that, that's fine. I know guys that just carry these in their pockets, one in the coat, one in their pocket, one in their back pocket, and they're good. That's fine, whatever you feel is comfortable. So the difference here is, like I said, you see how far this sticks out as opposed to just having the leather strap. All right, so it sticks out quite a bit, and it might not be a lot of trouble to some people, but I think in the long run, I don't like things hanging off my belt or printing as much as possible, and this thing tends to print a bit. Now in the winter time it's not bad because you have multiple layers of clothing, but I think I'm going to try this method for 2017, see how I feel about it, and we'll go from there. Alright, the last, well actually not the last but not least, but the last gun that I carry is sometimes, again, these are the HD sights, okay, only this one's in yellow. Alright, really nice sight picture. It does have the rounded U notch instead of the square, and I find that it's very easy to pick up, especially in low light. Okay, This is the Glock 42. This is my 380 made in the USA. It is not made overseas. Talking about small grips, okay, that is a very, very, very tiny grip. Okay, this gun is not loaded. It has been safety checked. Okay, couple things on this gun. All right, I know it's a 380. Some people don't like backup guns. They don't like secondary guns. They feel that it's not necessary, too heavy, whatever the case. I get it. I understand it. If that's the way that you walk out of the house, then that's fine. I was carrying the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380, which I like. I like the gun. I think it's small. It's perfect. It's a great pocket gun. The only problem I ever had with that gun is that long trigger. And those guys that aren't used to long triggers understand what I'm talking about. If you've never fired a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380, you'll understand. It's a hammer-fired long trigger, and I was not able to manipulate it as good as with this gun. Now, for Glock, the 42 is actually clearly almost the same exact size as the 43. So why would you carry a 380 versus a 9mm? Simple answer is just weight. That's all it is. It's just weight. 9mm tends to be a little bit heavier, same magazine capacity, and honestly, I've carried both guns before. This comes in at a couple ounces lighter, and again, if you see all the stuff that I'm talking about here, you know, it can add up. Now, what I usually do is I carry it in this pocket holster like this, okay, and I could put this on the inside of my inside pocket jacket, or I usually carry it on my left side inside my pants. I don't really think that carrying a shoulder holster is great if your jacket's going to be somewhat open. It works great for the car. I don't like carrying ankle holster. You have to stop running to pull your gun out, so depending on where you are. And I think honestly, if you're carrying a Glock 19 with 2 magazines, you'll probably never have to go to that gun ever. But for the added security and benefit of having a secondary gun, I don't think you can go wrong with 380. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole argument with the 380 or 38 special or whatever the case is. The secondary gun is a bonus. It's a freebie. Okay, I spoke to guys that were like tier 1 operators, and they always just carried an extra knife. I don't know. Hey, to each his own. I'm not a knife fighter. These guys probably have better training than I am. So if they are knife fighters or are able to use, I was looking at the TDI K-bar kind of thing. Great, no problem. For me, as far as keeping in the same genre of gun, so this is a Glock Striker-Fire pistol, this is a Glock Striker-Fire pistol, all right? This is a 9mm, this is in 380, I can do the 43, I think this will even fit, I think this holster will fit inside the 43 as well. Like I said, very similar, very nice guns, but again, it's a weight issue, depending on how you feel about it. And I know ideally that if I had to give somebody a small gun like this, including my wife, that she can handle a 380 caliber. A 9mm caliber in a very small gun, including the Glock 43, has a lot of recoil, okay, will make her a little bit gun shy, okay. I'm working on that with her. However, not a big deal. Before I go, I just want to talk a little bit about ammo. I'm still using the Spear Gold Dot 9mm. And this is, I believe, Golden Saber 380 hollow points, which works excellently, works great in that 380. So I'm very happy about that. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. You have any questions, comments, whatever, you can put them down below. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope everybody made it out safe. I hope you have a great new year in 2017. Also, go to 3riverblades.com, check out all the great knives I have up there. Talk to you soon.